All right, in this particular video we'll just be looking out for JavaScript data types. Generally in programming, we can say that data is essentially any type of information that can be interpreted by a computer system. So as far as a programming language is concerned, one of the major things you'll be looking out for is the data types. And here in JavaScript, we have a whole lot of data types and we'll be considering them one after the other. The first one we'll be looking out for is the numbers, or some people will call it the integers. The numbers here, let's say for example, we can do something like 3. If you type in 3, it will actually work for you. You can say 3 plus 5. You see the system bringing out 8. You can do something like let's say 4 asterisk. Asterisk is for multiplication now. 4 times 3. Find out that the system brings out 12. We can even do the division. Let's say we want to do 8 divided by 2. Find out that the answer is 4. Then another thing we can also do is let's say we do something of this nature. 3 plus 4. Let me put that in bracket. Let me put that in bracket. Then we have times 4. We find out that the operator, we have two operators here, being the addition sign and the multiplication sign. So you know, if we have here 3 plus 4 is 7, and 7 times 4 is 28. So as far as numbers is concerned, that's basically what you should look out for on the aspect of numbers. Then another data types we can actually look at is the strings. What is a string? A string is basically letters or text, text characters. And you don't just write a string like that. Let's say for example you say hello world, and once I hit enter, I will have an error. Said syntax error. It's bringing out syntax error because this is not how we write text using JavaScript. So I'm going to write that hello world again, but in this case I'm going to write it the correct way. So for it to achieve that, you have to wrap it with this particular quotation mark. Then I will now say hello world, then hit enter. Take note that anything you wrap in a quotation mark will be treated as a string. Let's say for example you have the number 4. Let's say for example you have the number 4. If you wrap this 4 in a quotation like this, it will be treated as a text. How do I mean? Calm down. I know this can be a bit confusing, but let's try out something. Let's say for example 4 plus 4, if you treat it as a number, is 8. But 4 as a text plus another 4 as a text will give us 44, and we call that string concatenation. Let's demonstrate that. 4, then let's say I do a plus, and then in quotation another 4. Find out that our answer will be 44. Let me break this down. Let's say for example I have hello and world. Can I actually use them as two separate words? Yes. Hello, then give a plus sign, and then I'll add here world. Hello world. So when once I hit enter, you find out that it will be hello world. But this is a challenge. We need a space in between. What do you think I should do at this point to actually achieve that space? You can actually pause the video and then try brainstorming, but for now I will just solve it for you. I will just press the up arrow key so that I can have access to what I typed previously. Then I can come to this wall and either keep a space here, find out that there is a space here, or I return that, come to this other side and do what? Keep that same space. So when once I hit enter, I now have hello world with a space. So that is actually what I meant by string concatenation, the addition of string. So please take note, if you should wrap anything, even if it is a number, positive integer, with a quotation, the computer will be treating it as a string and not as a number. So that's one of the mistake a lot of people coming into programming do from time to time. And when we'll be building our little project, you get to see how that can affect our work. All right. Then a very curious mind will be forced to ask, is it only the double quotation we can be using, or can we use single quotation too? Yes, we can actually use a single quotation too, but personally I will advise you to, in most cases, to use the double quotation mark. I will show you the reason why I'm saying that. Let's say, for example, I have a single quote here for hello world. Okay, maybe let me use another word, welcome. You find out that the welcome is actually working very well. But what if I was writing a text that has an apostrophe? Let's say, for example, I am. Then I want to write the contract form of it using apostrophe. Will I be able to achieve that? Let's say I was using a single quote. Then I want to write I am coming. I am coming. You see, it's not all part that has been highlighted to be red. So that means it's only this I that is being picked if care is not taken. So you see, a mere hitting enter, I have the syntax error again. So in this case, if I use the double quotation mark, I can actually overcome that. I am coming. Though we can actually still use the single quotation using a technique called the escape sequence, which in a subsequent video we are going to make very good use of that. So, but for now, please try as much as possible to make use of the double quotation mark to avoid error as a beginner. The reason is because I'm trying as much as possible to see how I can reduce anything that will make JavaScript complicated for you. Okay, all right. So I'm trying to make sure you follow it one after the other, and try to break it down as much as possible. Let's say, for example, I add. Is it possible to add a number to a text? Let's say, for example, we have 10 plus maybe 12, but the 12 will now be in quotation. 12. What do you think we'll have? 10 plus 12 should be 22, I guess. But in this case, when I hit enter, we have 1012. This is more or less of a concatenation too. JavaScript, looking at what you are doing, the guy is just like, oh, probably this particular person wanted to add two strings together. And in some programming language might not be that friendly with you. Okay, all right. So what if we try subtracting a number from a string? This 12 now is a string, is treated as a text because of this quotation, whereas 10 is a number because there is no quotation. Okay, all right. Then can we subtract a text from a text? Let's say, for example, we want to, since we added hello to world, can we subtract world from hello? It says N-A-N. N-A-N. This is another data types on its own. It means not a number. You cannot subtract a text from a text. So JavaScript is now telling you not a number. Alright, that would be that for the aspect of string. Let's look at another data types you'll be encountering as far as your career is concerned. This one is called Boolean. This one is called Boolean. Boolean basically has to do with true or false. Let's say, for example, 5 is greater than 6. That statement is false. So assuming you are writing a particular program and then you want to make use of either the true or the false statement. Or if I say 6 is less than 3, the statement is false. But if I say 6 is greater than 3, find out that the statement is true. Or 5 is greater than or equals to, this is greater than or equals to in JavaScript is equal to 5, you say it is true. Okay. Then what if I do something like 2 is equals to 2? 2 is equal to 2. If I hit enter, I will have an error. The reason is because equality in programming, we don't just use one equality sign. When once you use one, like what we are having here, you are not actually referring to equality, but rather you are dealing with variables. Yes, we'll be treating that in our next video deeply, so don't be overwhelmed. So assuming I wanted to say 2 is equal to 2, how can I achieve that? So I can say 2 is equal to double. I'm going to use double to 2. It will give me true, or triple. 2 is equal to 2. Still true. Then someone might be forced to ask, what's the difference between the double and the triple equality sign? This is one question you get to hear during interviews for entry-level developers a whole lot. Let's answer that question. Now 2, if I do double, and then now I'm not going to use 2 as a number, but I'll be using 2 as a string. Let's see what we have. If you use 2 equal sign, that's double equal sign, it will say true. The reason is because double equal sign only check for value. What I mean by that is that it comes here and say, okay, we have 2 here, irrespective of the data type, be it a number or a text. Now comes to this other hand side and say, okay, we have a 2 here also, irrespective of the data types, be it a string, that's a text, or a number. So for double equal sign, it only checks for the value. What value is there? You see, if I change this to 3, it will say false. But when I return it to 2, it will say true. But for the triple equality sign, that one is called the strict equality sign. That one will check for 2 things. It will not just check for the values, it will also check for the data types. Let's say, for example, I change this to 3 to say false. It's saying false because although the value is the same, but the data types are not the same. So this one, the data type here is a string because of this quotation, while this other hand side is a number. This is an integer, while this is a string. So the triple equal sign checks for the 3 of them. Okay? Alright, please take note of that. It's actually very, very important. Then another thing I would like to show you guys is the not equal to. The not equal to. We use exclamation mark for that. Let's say, for example, I want to say 4 is not equals to maybe 5. It's true because 4 is not 5. But if I say 4 is not equals to 4, it says false. The reason is because 4 is equal to what? 4. I hope you are following. So that's the data types we'll be considering for now. We have other data types we'll be considering in our subsequent videos, like the arrays and even the undefined. So this is your task for today. We are taking it bit by bit so that you'll not be overwhelmed. Snap your JavaScript console showing us how you make use of the various data types and post it on the community. Thank you very much, as I look forward to seeing you in the next video.